Hello, viewers out there. Once again, it's time for Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Cho Salifu Usman. Is also in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Alpha.
Yeah, on Sports Orbit today, we'll begin straight from the camp of the Under 17 Golden Eaglets. Today, it's another big day for the Golden Eaglets as they take on the young Atlas of Morocco in the all-important Group B. Second group tie of the Group B. Recall that both teams are currently on 3 points, but Morocco are on top of the group as a result of a superior goal difference. And ahead of that game, the Golden Eaglets coach Ugbade has admitted there were lots of areas of concern for his team in their opening game, but they have worked to be better, though he still knows there will be mistakes. The two-time African champions will face Atlas of Morocco later on today. Recall that in the first game, the Eaglets won 1-0 against Zambia. That was on Sunday, while for Morocco, they defeated the South African side 2-0, and now they have a superior goal difference of 1 point. But both teams on 3 points. Salifu, all important game today for the Golden Eaglets because today, any of these teams who gets victory knows that they're clearly in the next round of the competition. But I think both teams might want to go out for a draw because a difficult team. These are the best sides in this group. But what do you expect from this encounter later on in the day?
Yeah, I don't believe on that agreement of saying let us just play for a draw so that play for a draw because it's a group of death. So the result of the match between South Africa and Gambia is also very important. So if you not if you not decided to play for a draw, both of you have 4 points. That will now put you in the that in your next match you must not lose. And whoever win from whoever win from between Zambia and South Africa will have 3 points. And if both of you play draw, you have 4 points. So and then the next match, either Nigeria is going to play against South Africa in the last match, while Morocco is going to against the Zambia in the last one, depending on who wins. Then OWA will put you on a spot that you must avoid defeat or probably win. Because if you draw and Morocco, either whoever is on the other side win the other match against and the other people win, that means that will definitely eliminate you from the competition. So I will obviously tag this game as a must win for either side. Although, like I said, the draw will not be a bad result, but it is obviously a must win on the other side, and it's a top of the table battle. And like Oduka rightly agreed, in the first match, just like we said yesterday, they created several chances. The only one to score goal, and we hope that they will be able to, just like you said, that they have worked on their inefficiency on that area. And I hope that they have been able to do a very thorough job on those guys to ensure that they take their chances. Because football is who score more goals that win the match. You can't be playing a beautiful game, and if you don't score, you are a loser. And that's why sometimes you see a team having 70% possession, and then the team who has the 30, and the man who scored, the team with 30 score goal, and then become the winner. So we hope Ugbade has cool his voice and talking about to avoid some of those errors they make against the Gambia. And Morocco will also come, we don't know who to come out smoking. I see several Moroccans who admitted that it's going to be very tough to play against Nigeria, and it's very tough for them to beat Nigeria. I don't mind this, just a mind game. And South Africa are very good. They are tricky game, tricky style of playing game. Don't mind the age. And these are some of the things Udoka has to caution his voice again because those North Africa they can force you to commit unnecessary foul. They try to get at you at all costs to ensure that to provoke you, and then they will realize your plans. And so Udoka has to caution his voice, be mindful of the tactics of the Arab. And but good and beef. If you look at statistically, the Golden Eagles are favored to win this match, but sometimes not who is favored to win that one normally win. But experience-wise, the Golden Eagles has more experience compared to this the local side. The Golden Eagles, this is the third time they are playing this competition, so the Morocco are going for this competition for the third time. And the Golden Eagles has won this competition 2 times. So experience-wise, Golden Eagles has a better experience on this. And I'm going for international worldwide. We are 5-time world champion. But however, this is not the same player that played there. It's a different set of players.
Right. Wish Golden Eagles good luck in this game, hoping that they are able to come away with the victory, at least uh, book a spot in the next round of the competition. Now to the Federation's Cup. Of course, also some matches will go down today. But the star match everyone is talking about is Kano Pillars, who will be up against Rangers International of Enugu. The match will be played this afternoon at the MK Abiola Stadium Package B. That is today. And of course, for Kano Pillars, having been relegated to the other side, I'm sure this Confederations Cup, they more than any of these other sides who are in the NPFL, I think should take this competition very seriously because knowing that if they emerge winners, at least they might have a chance of playing on the continent. But this is going to be a very tough encounter against Rangers, who are also former winners of the competition.
Yeah, you are right. On that would depend if Nigeria Football Federation will be able to
Conclude.
conclude it.
Yeah,
Because there's a case that is still on ground.
the
Last year,
inconclusive one last year.
inconclusive
Yeah.
Federation Cup last year, and handling people right and the continent. So, but just like you say, if not, if either for a continental ticket or without even a continental ticket, if there's any club that desires to take this competition seriously, just it's a kind of like a team that used to be in among the top, among the elite club, now go down there, they will play within, they will play among within the well, we're still professional, but we're still amateur level of football. So it's an opportunity for them to work shoulder with the big boys in the big club in the Nigerian professional in the Nigerian league, and they have to really get to contend with in the round of 32, and then probably get to the round of 16. So obviously, it is a team, it's a game that the Kwara fans and the Kano fans and everyone that's connected to Kano Club is very interested and very key on this. But this is the only way they feel that they can be competing among their mates where they used to play along with. But now they are competing in the second division, and in as much as we wish them to quickly get back to the Premier League by get the promotion from the NNL and get to the Premier League. It's a competition that the most people likely take serious competition if depend in the Nigerian Football Federation to conclude the cup.
Yeah, very importantly, like you said, last year's competition inconclusive. The club would have to be nominated to go all the way to the continent, and we just hope that this season's own will be concluded.
But and if you even look at this federation score as it is now, I think the club are just playing just for the sake of system pay. Because
Is there a sponsor?
There's no sponsor, and you're not playing. You're not playing for anything apart from just a continental ticket that is just down to we are going to get the continental ticket. If at all, it finally concluded. But there's nothing to say that this one can play for, and the club are
winners of previous edition. The prize money promised till today. I don't know if you have any
previous edition. Previous.
So I don't know if you have any information if that money has been paid.
They are still working on that.
All right.
It's really unfortunate that a brand like Federation Cup, the oldest cup in the oldest cup in the round, like it's a FA Cup.
Yeah,
FA Cup is a pride of any, is a pride of any FA around the world. But it's unfortunate that we in Nigeria say a cup like Federation Cup is being played without sponsor, despite all the multinationals and everybody on that. The Theo Cup name that is still be bragging around.
Exactly.
The Theo Cup has been not officially drawn, but they are not. There's not financially back up. But yes, you still see their name being tagged to the competition. But it's good that the Nigeria Football Federation and the media department of Nigeria Football are trying as much as possible to de-associate the competition from their Theo Cup, because most of their listeners are no longer carrying their Theo name.
Yeah.
And to me, this is a good. But I'm surprised that the marketing department of the Nigeria Football Federation are not able to look for a competitive sponsor for a brand like Federation.
Yes, I mean, very, very disheartening. Under Amadou Pinnick, when he came into office in 2014, I guess, there was so much talk about him being a private sector person, how he's going to bring so much investment into the game. And 8 years down the road, you can't really put your hand and say during his time as NFL boss, these were, the corporate organizations was able to bring in to invest in Nigerian football.
Yeah, I think for the sake of time, because of the sake of limited time we have, I think we have to wide away the Amagi issue, because if you want to go in there, we won't live here.
You don't
Because
live here.
Amagi,
Yes.
there's a lot of baggages and everything to talk about Amagi issues.
Which the current administration has inherited. Anyway, to some other news now, where in Syria powerhouse Inter Milan are understood to be keeping tabs on Nigerian Kelechi Iheanacho. He's currently in the Leicester side, and for Leicester, not going well. Things not going well for them this season. Currently on the 16th position, and they are completely not yet out of relegation waters yet. But Inter are keeping an eye on Iheanacho. Of course, I think sometime last week Iheanacho had also, I think his agent had also spoke, you know, saying that, well, if at all Leicester will go into relegation, of course, you have to look for another club for Iheanacho, because he cannot imagine a player of his caliber going down to play in the championship. And good enough for him. Looks like maybe Inter Milan might just be offering him a new lease of life just in case Leicester are relegated.
Yeah, either Leicester is relegated or not even relegated. If I'm going to advise, I would also advise that you should take the Inter move, because Inter is one of the biggest teams, and the Inter is playing in the Champions League. And if the Iheanacho has been at Leicester for some years, he has played everything he wanted to play in Leicester. I think he need a new challenge and a new environment where he can fully reactivate his career. Yes, it's not being bad at Leicester, but he has not come as a promising star, but he has not fulfilled the promise. He has not fulfilled the expectation of many Nigerians and the expectation of many people across the police one want to see him, what we hope we expected of him when he was coming up right from the other position, went to Man City when he was in Man City, other players, Granny was giving him most of the time, and he was coming up gradually until Pedro Guardiola come and feel that he was not. He was so requirement at Man City, and they threw him away at Leicester. But even at Leicester, he has not done badly, but he has not fulfilled the potential. He has not met his full potential that everyone was looking up to. So if he is still, the age is still on his side, if Leicester can give him a list of another opportunity, to me, why not take that? Why not grab that opportunity? Either Leicester goes down or not even going down. I would definitely wish him to move on to Inter. He happened to look more for Leicester. It was not doing well, but when he had at the I can't recall his score. When he's doing well. That's one. He's one of the top scorers in the Serie A.
Third highest scorer, if not second, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, that's that for Iheanacho. We hope fans are, but basically Leicester has to at least remain in the Premier League, because if eventually they even go to the Championship, of course, his asking price will definitely drop.
And I think sometimes there's some this thing I don't understand. When agents will begin to know if the club going down, my player is not going. But your player day, where they go there, they contribute to the club, they contribute to the club going down.
If he's a striker, if he was scoring enough, maybe his goals would have saved the club. All right, we'll quickly go on a break, and when we come back, Sport Hub continues.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158 Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit. For Ghanaian gang playmaker Joseph Panting, he has admitted that the departure of his former teammate Nigeria's Paul Onuachu from the side has actually affected Gang. Actually, he believes that if Onuachu had stayed with the team, that his club Gang would have been on their way to lifting the Jupiler League, that is the Belgian League title. For Onuachu, during his time with Genk, he scored 85 goals in 134 appearances, and he started the season on fire with Genk scoring 16 goals in 19 games, as his efforts actually helped the team to the summit of the Belgian top flight, but they could not keep the momentum after he left the club. Well, after he left the club, his club could not keep the momentum.
And when he
Went
goes,
to Southampton on
and
fire,
he could not
hoping he will. He even boasted that he was going to ensure that he's going to keep them in the league. But the way he's looking, I think right now for all the clubs struggling for relegation, for Southampton, I think their fate is sealed. I don't know what you is there yet to register his first goal in the EPL.
Yeah, I like that story. The club could not put the momentum, and him
Yeah.
could not go
Exactly. With his presence.
firing power.
Yes.
Well, it's always like this. We have several cases of it in the run letter game. Several players who used to be an hero in the club,
particular club.
they moved to another club, just an ordinary player.
Exactly.
Yesterday, nobody valued them
Yeah.
as a player. And that's why it's always often time very necessary that before you move, you have to watch well, you have to look well. Don't be distracted by the urge
Exactly.
that I want to go and play in the lucrative league, or I want to go and play in the big club. You have to weigh your options very, very, very well. Because you can't be a king in your home and went to somewhere to become just an ordinary slave.
Exactly.
And several it is, they happen to many players. I've seen several again. Eddie Hazard used to be a star in Man City. A king in Man City.
Chelsea.
Sorry, I'm sorry, please. A king in Chelsea. A star in Chelsea. He used to be, there's many match that will be decided in Man City. In Chelsea, without Chelsea.
Yeah.
Without the Hazard used to be their best player. But all of a sudden, he moved to Man City. Who is it to be?
Nobody even. Sometimes you won't.
Nobody
Can't remember if he still plays football.
He's still playing football. Now, even his position at the national team has also he has to quickly retire from the national. And if case not taking, if in the next 1 or 2 years, Eddie Hazard will play football.
You're right.
Several people. So, Onuachu, yes, was a hero, a king in the Belgian league, firing from the statistics we play in this the currency that is going. Play 19 matches, score 16 goals.
Exactly.
Now in the Premier League, he has played more than 7 goals. He's even years to register assist.
Exactly.
Not to talk of a goal. So players oftentimes need to be very, very careful before you move. You need to watch clearly. Where am I going? Am I destined to sign? You have to weigh your option. Yes, the desire of every player is to play in the Premier League. But if you feel that you are not yet there, or your block is not yet, be conscious. By now, it will still be celebrated as a king in the Belgium. But here we are now, it has become just an ordinary player.
Passenger.
Just a mere passenger.
Right now, to some news from FIFA, where FIFA, that is the Federation of International Football Association, is threatening to blackout, a broadcast blackout that is for 5 countries, 5 top European countries, the big 5, that is countries like Britain, Spain, Germany, Italy, and of course, France. And this is because, according to him, he said what these countries are offering as broadcast rights is more like an insult to FIFA. Well, some of those countries last week had given the excuse of the time difference because it's Australia and when most of the games. So, according to this team, that it won't be prime time television when this match will be showed in their countries. It will be likely maybe like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And at that time, most people are either going to work or something. I think they quite have a point.
Where people will be
Sitting at home to watch the match, So, and he's saying when it was time for the FIFA World Cup, these countries were offering in excess of about $100 million for TV rights, but here they are offering between $1 and $2 million, and he says this is unacceptable. But I think sometimes Infantino sometimes I think he plays too much to the gallery. But because when you look at these reasons these countries are giving, I think it's right because if you being understand how broadcasting works, this is how it works. Because look, that is why even in TV, if you're going to place an advert, for instance, the rate you pay for prime time is different from the rate you pay for a non-prime time, and this is normal broadcasting standard. So for you to insist that no, you must pay a certain amount of money, these countries are saying not like we don't support female football. After all, we are the biggest ones who even we have the biggest female football leagues, around. We can pay this money, but we are looking at the time difference.
Well, just like you say, I think Pachino is always been
Exactly.
he's always been to the gallery, and he's trying to also pitch this club
Exactly.
against a woman foe.
Yeah.
They're not supporting women. But another thing is like, either you like it or not, you can't compare. Just like let me just, I'm sorry to use this word. You can't compare rice with just a mere unicorn or whatever.
Yeah.
Either you like it or not, male football, the difference between male football and male football is still very
Completely.
the gap is still very wide. The followership is very wide.
Yeah.
So, and you can compare, even the FIFA level, FIFA can, and Fatino can't tell that the price money for male women
Exactly.
is the same as well.
Yeah, so sometimes I think
so what
it's
they offer for a male, you can't expect them to offer the same thing to female World Cup. And just like they offer, these TV rights are not society, are not charity organizations.
exactly.
They are for business.
They're for business.
So if I feel I'm putting my money, I'm not going to get a return.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should even thank God that the never plan it out completely.
Yeah.
So, and if you can compare that the timing and every nation everywhere, even in Nigeria, you have every station have their time,
Of course.
have their viewer time when they feel that many people will catch and sleep on and the more the time and the more people who tune up to the studio, the more they also get adverts to recoup their investment they make. And if it's not played at the time where people will place advert on the television, what do you expect them to do? So the Infantino has to weigh his option, has to look it very well before he come out to speak. And I don't like the way he's trying to always speak people against each other to his own advantage.
He did that ahead of the Qatar World Cup.
He did it at the Qatar World Cup when he was accusing the European of racism and the Arab were shouting, everybody was shouting. Fatino is doing all this based on selfish gain, and he always benefited from it.
Yeah.
Africans are always Fatino knows that for him to sustain his job at FIFA, he needs the support of Africa and he needs the support of the Asian. The European can't keep him as FIFA president. Once he gets the support of the bloc both from Africa and then from if he can say hell to the Europe, and that's what he has succeeded doing over the years.
I mean, because if you look at it, why do you ask yourself, when you look at even all the leagues in Europe, why do you think if there's a Premier League game on a weekday, what time is the match played? It's either 8 p.m. That is when people have come back from work at home.
Yeah.
If you're playing on the weekend, it's either you're playing on weekdays in the night or on weekends when at that time you can't imagine putting a Premier League game by 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. on Monday.
Yeah.
Nobody will be in the stadium.
4 p.m.
Exactly. Nobody will be in the stadium. Nobody will watch it. Because these people will be in
at 4.
Exactly.
You can only have it on the weekend.
Exactly.
And
so
if this most of the time, have you ever seen Champions League play at 4 o'clock?
No. These are things that Infantino knows very well. But like you say, most times he likes spitting, people across some certain block to his own advantage. Exactly. I think, for these countries, they know. I mean, like you said, broadcasters are not charity organizations. These are business organizations. Now, to some other news where Ronaldo has been named as the world highest paid athlete, according to the latest Forbes list released yesterday. Of course, this is mainly due to his move to Saudi side Al Nassr, which nearly doubled his annual playing salary, while PSG's Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe ran off the top three. According to Forbes, Ronaldo joined Saudi club till 2025. He's going to earn about $136 million while playing for his current club, Al Nassr. So no surprise. I mean, that move to Saudi. I mean, at this stage, like we said, maybe someone like Messi too should start thinking of so, because at this age we've won everything. You can now say, okay, look, I'm playing strictly for the money, not for Messi, who is dilly-dallying whether to go back to Barca or not to go back. I think for Messi, maybe go to the MLS or go also to Saudi. After all, he was also in Saudi during the weekend and had to be suspended by PSG. Whatever he went there to do, we don't know. But PSG said he went there without permission.
Maybe he's beginning to fine tune his way.
Yes, exactly.
There's a controversy either to extend his contract or not to extend his contract. The PSG are asking to call to take a wage cut. Even the Barcelona, they are talking about.
He's still taking wage cut.
They're asking him to come back. If he must go to Barcelona, he has to take a wage cut, or Barcelona has to lay off several key players to accommodate him. And I don't think Barcelona will take that risk of let all several players, not let about 5 of them to go just to accommodate Messi that is already approaching his 40. So, and I think he's clearly beginning to get the message that he has to also go to earn big money. And there's oil money in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, and you can see that Ronaldo. That's why yes, Ronaldo has played everything. He has achieved everything. Either he won the World Cup or he won the World Cup. He has achieved anything that any player deserves to achieve around that game. And there's the time to earn money. And he's earning full money. And you can see, according to who 12, he's now the biggest athlete on the planet.
Well. All right, time is not on the side. Before quickly go to the EPL. Of course, yesterday we gave you a brief preview of the match between Arsenal and Chelsea. Well, against what a lot of people had expected, hoping it was going to be, a serious fight, maybe like a tug of war, but it ended up being a completely one-sided affair as Arsenal trashed Man City 3-1 in that encounter. And if we're quickly looking at that game, I mean, people who watched that match, even for some people, a lot of people who are not even Chelsea fans were disappointed, saying, look, this is not the Chelsea we used to know.
Yeah, obviously, I was one of those. Because yesterday, I would rather take this one and one of the I was one of those who felt disappointed about the success of yesterday. It's obviously, I think something is terribly wrong with Chelsea. It's not about the coach.
No, coach inclusive.
I don't think it's not about the coach. It's no longer. I've sit down to look at it. It's no longer about the coach. There's something is terribly wrong. Because if you look at Chelsea lineup yesterday, player by players, 1-on-1, and Arsenal lineup, you definitely want to put your money for Arsenal, for Chelsea.
No, why coach matters is you have those players, but how do you use them? What tactics do you bring into the game?
Let me finish. If you look at 1-on-1, you definitely put your money on. Got Lampard start yesterday to make some changes, bring some new players and players. And if you look at 1-on-1, you definitely is going to be a top match for Arsenal to win. But Arsenal easily, it's like as if Chelsea players are just on the pitch, they're not winning.
It's a coach problem.
Lampard
doesn't have what it takes.
Yes, I'm not trying to defend Lampard, but I'm beginning to see that this thing is beyond the coach problem. Wait, I still have my hope. I still have my why I'm trying to say this. Because if you look at it, what Chelsea have suffered there, right from the other quarter, yes, we agree that Potter not happy to get it. Right from the Lampard, yes, we agree that Lampard don't have it. But Lampard can't be as bad coach as to play 6 matches without a win and against the team with a player he paraded yesterday. Even though those players are Chelsea are professional players who should either with camp coach or not, they should even know what to do on the pitch. But yesterday, I watched a Chelsea side that is not even ready to play a game. Arsenal just come and take over the game. And to me, it's like I'm beginning to feel that there's a consistent plan towards the owner to force the owner of the Chelsea to set the
plan. We watch football so many times. Meanwhile, for Lampard, in the last 20 matches, right from Everton, Lampard played. Out of 20 matches, Lampard has lost 17, won 1 and drawn 2. So his problem didn't start at Chelsea. So for Chelsea's situation, I'm telling you, if you give this Chelsea team to a proper coach, in 5-6 matches, you see a difference. We saw with what happened with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace were almost battling relegation until a certain old man, Roy Hodgson, came in. In just less than 5 games, Crystal Palace are completely out of relegation. If you look at Leeds United, they have 4 games to go. But knowing what a coach can do to a club, they went out and brought the old man, Sam Allardyce, who was an expert in bringing teams out of relegation. Sam Allardyce has been appointed today to be in charge of the next 4 games for Leeds. And who knows, you'll be surprised that Leeds will escape relegation. So sometimes these things matter. Look, the truth is, yesterday some analysts gave a look, they said, look, Lampard does not have what it takes. Sometimes coaching is not for everybody. Gary Neville tried it. It didn't work out and he went back to being an analyst. Paul Scholes tried it. It didn't work out. People say, Lampard, you tried this thing, you were back to being an analyst. Go back to being an analyst. Coaching is not for everybody. It's as simple as that. a really sad one. Not a
Well,
good
I
record.
I agree. Lapa does have fear that the excessive job is beyond important. I'm still insist that the problem is Chelsea is beyond just a coach.
All right, some other matches will go down in the EPL also today. Of course, Man City will welcome Fulham in that one. The Etihad, West Ham rather, while Liverpool will be at home also to Fulham. So for Man City, a chance to get back to the top if they get the necessary victory against West Ham tonight. And for Liverpool, already in fifth position, at least hoping that they continue their push to see if they can break into the top four, or better yet, just keep it at that way and
break into the top four is obviously
Yeah.
very difficult.
but at least to keep respect to make sure that they are back in
They are
Europe,
very sure
even
that
in
they
Europa
will
League.
play in the
Yeah.
Europa League. Top four, they should just rule it out. It's just I don't see, no matter how Newcastle and Manchester United will slump down to drop in the top in the fifth position, give way for Liverpool. Although in the football they say don't run back, but it's very difficult. But I'm looking at the game tonight. You know, it's more difficult to play with an additional 20 teams than to play the team who is competing for position. I don't see Man City, they are unstoppable. But do you see West Ham do any favor for Arsenal today?
At all. I don't see it. Because except something happens in football, but usually City, especially in this time of season, once City get into a certain stride, they become very, very unstoppable. And they have a way of doing that at the end of the season. Last season they did the same thing too, where they had battled Liverpool. It seemed that Liverpool had run away with the league, and suddenly City got into their stride and they just kept winning, and at the end of the day still took the league. So except something happens.
It's just like a moving
Exactly.
once they put it to that, sorry,
Exactly.
you can't stop.
Except something extraordinary happens, I don't see West Ham, doing any favors for their London brothers today. Anyway, those matches come up much later, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and we'll keep an eye on them tomorrow. We'll give you a review of those matches, and of course, the Golden Eaglets also. I'm sure that match must have started by now. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one too, and tomorrow we'll give you a complete review of that encounter. So, thank you for being in the studio on today's edition of the program.
Thank you.
Right, until you come your way again, do have a wonderful time. My name is Afa Cho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.